Pokemaniacs, we are back with episode number 7 of our Pokemon collections, where we get to showcase collections that you guys send in to me. So this is really awesome. So 1, hopefully it gives you some inspiration for your own collection, but 2, sometimes it's just really nice to look at some cool stuff. So kicking it off for today is Robert Day. You can find him over on Instagram at PokeRob85. I'm assuming then that we're about the same age, Rob. Straight up, these shelves, beautiful. I've been contemplating different ways to display my Jazzwares figures, and I think you just solved the problem, man. Love the like skinny shelf in the middle with the wand replica balls. You've got the Mega Bloks Pokeball in there as well. Like, this is beautiful, man. And then up on the top left, you have some of those anniversary plushies from what was that now, like 10 years ago, something like that. And on the top right, I'm not exactly sure what those are. They look like sleeping plushies, so let me know if I'm mistaken there. Moving into the other portion of the room, tons and tons of plushies and Funko Pops. Love to see the wall of Funkos up there up top. Seeing more Jazzwares speckled around in all of the shelves. There's some of the Funko Pikachu moods, and then even having some of the Game Boy boxes for the games, including Pokemon Snap, I believe, if I zoom in far enough on that. Love to see another fellow Pokemon controller collector as well, with those amiibos in front of them. And a Pez collector. I need to get those ones. I have some of the other ones, but I haven't seen those before. And you also have the Pokemon Quest figures. I don't see anybody else who has those. I have a bundle stored away on my shelves. And love to seeing those Evolution plushies up there as well. Tucked away in the corner here, we have some more plushies. We got that Sleeping Flareon, plus looks like your whole pin collection, looking like those came from some of the card pin collections that they put out. And you clipped it a little bit on this photo, but I'm very interested to see this Necrozma like in all of its glory. That, I bet you that thing's freaking way cool in person. Hidden away over here by the door, seems like you got some of the ETB mural things that they have, but you've got all of your ETBs. It looks like you got your binders in there, some Pokeballs in front of the mini tins, another solid display, and definitely looks like you've been collecting cards for a minute, or have invested very heavily. And down on the bottom shelf, is that all just bulk cards? So Rob, you're coming in swinging right out of the gate on this video. Love to see it. Very solid collection. And if you want to be like Rob or any of the other people showcased in this video, make sure to email me, pokeroomtour@gmail.com. We'll get you guys set up on the next video, because obviously I can't put you in this one because that's not how editing works. Next up on the video, we've got Patricio Urbiola, hopefully I said that right, coming from Mexico City. Got a little collection here. It says his favorite Pokemon is Berserker, and he does own a 3D printing of him. But honestly, even though it's a modest collection, like, I love to see the figures all together. Hawlucha, one of my faves. Plus you got the Riolo in there. And then on the far right, I don't know why, but I just love seeing Tyrunt on top of that beetle. There's something about it, just, I don't know, I love it so much. So thank you, Patricio, for sending in that photo. Very interested to see your collection keep growing over time. Now sending it over to Monica Gonzalez. She sent in these photos, and if you want to see more from her, she is Huntress of VTG Collectibles over on IG and .huntress_ on TikTok. Looking like she has a very solid collection right above her PC case there. Looking like a shiny Trubbish Ditto on the top left. And honestly, looking on the bottom right of that shelf, those like chubby little Gyarados, those are some of my favorite things I've seen. I love that. Moving into this next photo, do you have a full Pokemon arcade game in your room? Because that is amazing. Legitimately, of all of these collections that I've displayed, I've never seen this before. Looks like with this game, you move that Pikachu back and forth trying to catch Pokeballs as they come down. That is super rad. I'm interested, but also not interested to know how much that costed her. Over here on this other wall, we have a whole wall of Pokemon memorabilia. Looks like different like magazine excerpts, different ads. This is a cool, like, I want to call it like a time capsule, basically, of just the history of Pokemon. Love to see these things. And also love to see this Pokemon the First Movie cardboard display. That is super cool. Mew is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I'm absolutely jealous that you have this. It really is funny to me, just like literal like pieces of trash are just like these coveted items. Like, that is a fantastic pickup. Over here it looks like we have more movie memorabilia. I'm not sure if maybe these were like popcorn buckets of some sort, but you've got these pails of Pokemon things, and that's super cool. And is that a Pikachu pinata at the bottom? New desire unlocked. I need more pinatas in my collection. Looks like you have a number of different Pokemon backpacks. Getting into these figures, I do believe these figures are kid figures. I think I want to say like Bandai makes them, because there's a Garchomp in a very similar style that I was looking for. So I'd love to see all of these different ones. Like, they're just so cute and chubby, just like all squished down like that. These are super rad, and I love that you have them in like that, like these like shoe display boxes, keeping them clean. And here we go. This is looking like the holy grail of just vintage Pokemon memorabilia. You've got lunch boxes. There's this, is that a cooler? Looks like a cooler to me. Possibly some old beverages in there. You've got the Pokemon like fruit by the foot in there. Just, oh man, this is packed with nostalgia. You've got the Pokemon cereals in there. This seriously is just like, there's so many things to call out in these photos. Like, this is amazing. Just seriously, like, you've got the Eggos, the macaroni and cheese, the Pop-Tarts. Like, I want to know if you've been collecting these things like your whole life and you just had the sense to hold on to it, or if you've been picking these things up on eBay, because this is beautiful and it is just, it makes me smile. Also, yeah, you also have some Funkos down there. I think we're all focused more on all of the vintage stuff that you have in there. And topping it all off by looking at this giant clock in there, which seems like it's more recent because that's more of a recent Pokeball logo from the Pokemon Company. Either way, Monica, that was a fantastic collection. Thank you so much for sending all those photos in, and great work on putting all of that together. I'm sure that took a long time. Next up on the video, we've got Heejin's Cloud. It's their name on YouTube. Says they've been a Pokemon fan since they were very young, and they're 19 now, so they've been collecting cards for a little bit over 12 years and has been hyper fixated on it ever since. Also love seeing some of these like old or older magazines, comics, and even some of these like older packs. I'm not sure if they hit vintage quite yet. Always love to see some Funkos. I'm a Funko fan myself. Says he collects not just Pokemon, but also some other franchises like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a whole box right there labeled Yu-Gi-Oh! But very jealous of that Cubone. Actually didn't know that Cubone was on its own, so I'm gonna have to go hunting for that now. Very solid card collection though, looking at some of these like reverse holos, some V cards, rainbows. Always love a full art trainer also, Avery, sitting there in the middle of that photo. I am jealous of your Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I used to have quite the collection back in the day. Unfortunately, sold it like a chump. And also looking at some of your more recent Switch collection here with the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Plus, we got Zelda there on the side with our Ruby and Sapphire comic. Always love some wall art as well. We got that Gyarados on the left-hand side, which is looking super cool. I'm actually very interested to know where you may have gotten that one. And nestled up in the sheets, we've got our sleeping Pikachu with some really rad sheets. We've got all the dog sheets. Love to see it. So thank you so much for sending those photos in. Again, love seeing these collections. I'm very interested to see your collection grow over time. Coming up next on the video, we've got Jake Deneen. Again, I'm sorry if I'm saying anybody's names wrong. I'm doing my best. Jake says he just got back into the hobby 2 years ago. He's passionate about it, but already, I mean, you've got some base set packs just chilling there in this little display stands. You've got all these graded cards. You've got like the Pikachu VMAX, the Sleeping Tyranitar, the Lugia. Like, you've got some solid picks here, my dude. And you've secret spy status here. You've got these briefcases just full of slabs. Like, this is legit, man. These are the types of things where I'm just like, man, like, especially where you've done this over the last 2 years. Like, this is quite the investment right out of the gate, but very impressed. You've behind these, I mean, those arts on the front of the briefcases are super cool, but you've got just cases of stuff sitting behind them. Can't quite make out what each one of those cases are from the photos, but that's okay. It's impressive regardless. Looking like they might either be ETBs or some booster boxes. So you, my friend, have quite the collection here. You've even got a nice framed Charizard piece right here. And also behind that, like those shelves, I want to see these shelves next time, man. I'm jealous that you picked up some of those Eevee, like the Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon boxes. I only opened them. I should have kept some. Definitely need to see what's more on those shelves back there. And in this last photo, you even have the big three in the Japanese versions. Plus I'm peeping those Monopoly boxes in the background as well. If you want to follow Jake, his Instagram is Pokemon_trader_Gilong. Did I say that right? I don't know. Either way, fantastic collection. That one looks like it's definitely worth a pretty penny. Love to see it. Next up, we're bringing you Holden Myers, who sent in their collection. Holden has an emphasis on picking up a lot of the old Game Boy Advance games, DS, like all of those. And as far as I can tell, these are all legit copies. He says he does prefer legit copies of the games. Nothing against having knockoffs or bootlegs, but he prefers the legit ones. In addition to those games, he does have a number of modded Game Boy Advances where he was able to put in the IPS screens with some new shells, new batteries, and even some with new buttons. But most importantly, he was able to mod them with a controller receiver, which is actually super cool. So he just uses that red Game Boy Advance and he can control any of the SPs. Super interesting. He also has a number of Nintendo DS's and these chunky, like original DS ones. These are modified for video game capture, which is super cool. I've actually been trying to look up ways to do that. We've also got some vintage Game Boy carrying cases featuring Rayquaza and Reshiram, and we've got a beautiful collection of these DS era Pokemon game cases featuring some English and some Japanese cases. Very jealous of the condition also of the Soul Silver. This is like crisp. This is super nice. Also have the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Switch OLED version, which is just, it's a beautiful, beautiful version. Stoked you have that. Also has some of the vintage plushies from way back in the day. I'm pretty sure I had that Pikachu on the right hand side. I don't know where that actually ended up. Holden's also got a ton of ETBs. These are just a portion of the collection, he says, but either way, it's a very solid collection and also makes me realize how many ETBs there are out there. It's also got a Bulbasaur from Build-A-Bear, which I'm not sure if they make that anymore, so that's a solid one to keep. And lastly, looks like he was able to pick up some pins of the Kanto badges that he picked up from a vendor at one of the local cons a while back. So Holden, great work, great collection. Keep up the work on those Game Boys and DS's, super interesting. But rounding out the video, we've got my dude John. This is the second time he'll be on these videos, but man, this guy is always working on his collection. So jumping into it, John has a just nerd mecca going on in his room. He's got his gaming setups for him and his wife on the left hand side. Just love the whole mix of like mostly Pokemon here, but there are elements of just other franchises. And this shelf alone right here where he's got an old TV hooked up with the orange Pikachu N64. We've got the old Burger King Gold cards. We've got old VHSs. We've got the Pokemon Edition Game Boy. There's just so many things to unpack in this. And just randomly, I'm noticing there's a Pikachu spoon. That's super cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Looking back on the entrance, since we just walked into the room, theoretically, the thing that stands out to me, I'm peeping this Twilight Edward Cullen thing. I don't know what's going on with that, but I like it. Down on this other shelf though, we do have some graded packs of cards, which is super cool. Seeing things, we've got like Jungle, Base Set, Fossil. You even got a graded Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee back there. Am I seeing that right? Also love to see a man of fellow taste. We've got some Score Bunny down there on the bottom left. Also peeping that Scarlet and Violet Switch up on the top right. Down over by the computers, we've got a bunch of different figures kind of set up through here. And on that bottom shelf, I think I remember this Battle Stadium as a kid. I remember seeing commercials for that. That's super cool. Over on this shelf, we've got the Jazzwares super articulated figures. We've also got some Oreos chilling on top. Love the organization that John's put into some of these shelves too, where like we have Blastoise all over there on the left side. We've got the Charizard, Charmander stuff going on the right side. The organization of everything is just, that I think is your strong suit with this collection, in addition to just such good items like the old Nintendo Power. We've got the old manga, and then this carpet. Is this a custom carpet? Did you paint this? Did you get that? Let me know down in the comments. Also love seeing these old binders because I am very confident I had both of those. I don't know where those ended up, but those look like they're in really, really good condition considering that they're all like 20, 25 years old. So great work finding those or keeping them preserved. And looks like those binders are all packed full of classic vintage cards. We've got some Japanese cards. We've got English cards from all sorts of different eras. John also even has some signed Funkos, one of them being from Sarah Natasheni, the voice of Ash. And we've also got the card display, which I'm jealous of because I need to get myself another one of those. I just have the one. Thank you, John, for sending all of those photos in. Again, your collection is so good. But I need you guys down in the comments. Let me know who you think has the best collection in today's video. Again, if you want to send in your own collection, email me, pokeroomtour@gmail.com. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out there. Send me some details about yourself, the collection, and of course, send me some high quality photos. This way I can put them up on the video. That's some nice little overlay to my voice. If you want to see more Pokemon collections, I got them right up here on the screen. Plus, I've also got card openings. Pretty much whatever you're into on Pokemon, we got it covered here. Thank you everybody who entered. Thank you guys for watching. Take care of each other out there, and we'll see you very soon on the next one.